There once was a man who lived in a quiet town surrounded by woods. He carried a heavy weight on his shoulders, not one you could see, but one that pressed down on his heart every single day. He looked at the people around him and saw only their strengths, their achievements, their worth. When he looked at himself, he saw nothing but emptiness. "I'm not good enough," he would whisper to himself in the quiet moments. "I have nothing special to offer this world." This feeling consumed him until one day, he couldn't bear it anymore. He decided to visit a wise priest in his town, hoping to find some answer to the question that haunted him. He stood before the priest, his voice trembling as he asked, "What is the value of my life? Am I worth anything at all?" The priest looked at him with kind eyes, and without saying much, reached into his drawer and pulled out a simple stone. It wasn't polished or beautiful, just an ordinary-looking stone. "If you truly want to know the value of your life," the priest said calmly, "take this stone to the market. If anyone asks the price, don't say a single word, just raise 2 fingers." The man was confused but nodded. He took the stone and made his way to the market. The market was bustling with life, vendors calling out their goods, customers bargaining. The man stood quietly in a corner, holding the stone, feeling almost invisible among the crowd. Then, a woman walked past him. She glanced at the stone in his hand and stopped. "Excuse me," she said. "What's the cost of that stone?" The man remembered the priest's words. He said nothing and simply raised 2 fingers. The woman smiled. $2. That's perfect. I'll take it for my garden." The man's eyes widened. Before she could take the stone, he quickly pulled it back and hurried away, his heart pounding. He rushed back to the priest, breathless. "Father, a woman at the market was ready to pay $2 for this stone." The priest smiled gently. "I see. Now I want you to take the stone to the auction arena. Same instructions. If anyone asks the price, don't speak. Just raise 2 fingers." Though still confused, the man agreed. The auction arena was different from the market. It was quieter, more sophisticated. Well-dressed people examined items with careful eyes. The man stood there feeling out of place, clutching the stone. Nearly an hour passed. The man was about to leave when an elderly gentleman in a fine suit approached him. "Excuse me, sir," the old man said, his eyes fixed on the stone. "Are you planning to sell this stone? May I ask how much you want for it?" Once again, the man stayed silent and raised 2 fingers. The old man's face lit up. $200? It's very reasonable for such a specimen. I'll take it." The man stood frozen in shock. $200 for the same stone that was worth only $2 earlier? He pulled the stone back and ran to the priest, his mind spinning. "Father, you won't believe this. An old man at the auction was ready to give $200 for the stone." The priest nodded knowingly. "Good. Now there's one last place I want you to go. Take the stone to the pawn shop in the city mall. Same thing. If anyone asks, just raise 2 fingers." The man found the pawn shop tucked away on the 2nd floor. He walked in hesitantly. Behind the counter was a shop owner examining jewels through a magnifying glass. When the man placed the stone on the counter, the owner looked up, and his eyes went wide. "Oh my God!" the shop owner exclaimed, his hands trembling as he picked up the stone. This is it. This is the rare stone I've been searching for all these years. Sir, please, how much do you want for this?" The man, now familiar with the routine, raised 2 fingers. The shop owner didn't hesitate. $200,000? Done. I'll buy it right now. The man nearly dropped the stone. His hands shook. His mouth went dry. He couldn't comprehend what he had just heard. $200,000. He carefully took back the stone and walked out in a daze. He made his way back to the priest, his legs barely carrying him. "Father," he said, his voice barely a whisper. "The pawn shop owner. He was ready to give $200,000 for this stone." The priest took the stone back and placed a gentle hand on the man's shoulder. "Do you understand now?" the priest asked softly. This stone never changed. It was the same in all 3 places. What changed was where it was valued. The man looked down, tears forming in his eyes. Your value doesn't change based on who can't see it. You must place yourself where your value is recognized and cherished. For some people, you're nothing, but for others, you are everything. So it's up to you. Where will you place yourself? You decide your value. Dear friends, each one of us has unique value. Just because some people don't see your worth doesn't mean you don't have any. Your value doesn't decrease based on someone's inability to see it. Keep placing yourself in environments that appreciate you and allow you to shine. Don't settle for being a $2 stone when you're worth 200,000. You just need to find where you truly belong.